How do people do this? Oh, we're almost at the top of the frame, everybody. This is very overwhelming. Okay, good morning. Good evening. It's literally 7 p.m. I wish I had some like funny joke to start this off, but it's really just becoming a problem. So yeah, let's go through it. Hi, welcome to the book haul. I read a lot of books, but mostly I write books, so this is just kind of an unnecessary money draining hobby. Let's start with nonfiction because we never have any of those. And it has a sticker on it, which is just wonderful. Thank you, capitalism. The first and only nonfiction book I have is John Green's The Anthropocene Reviewed, which I believe is a collection of essays, and I just like have followed John Green on TikTok. He has a lot of good things to say, and I was a big fan of Fault in Our Stars. That's the first book I cried during, and when I tell you, I read it before going to like a dance competition or something, and I cried so hard. Like all the pictures of me attending this event, I'm like puffy-eyed. So hopefully I don't cry with this. Next up I have a YA thriller, Natasha Preston's The Fear. I read Natasha Preston, she wrote The Cellar, which was originally on Wattpad, and it got a big enough following on Wattpad that she got a traditional publishing deal, which is like wild. And The Cellar, I don't think it's like the pinnacle of literature, but the emotions I felt, I feel a lot of feelings about that book. Lewis, oh my gosh. So I have The Fear, which is I think about people who keep getting killed by their worst fear. So that sounds terrifying. Then I have Crying in H Mart, which I'm sure you've heard about. Everybody seems to read it and everybody seems to cry a lot. So I'm gonna wait until I'm feeling emotional. I believe it is, it's a memoir. That's right. I believe it's about the author's relationship with her mother, something along those lines. But I've heard like literally nothing but great things. Like most books you hear like a few scathing reviews, and I've heard nothing but good things about this, which maybe is too high of an opinion to go into a book with, but we're gonna go with it. Oh, this one I've actually already read since buying, and it's Every Heart a Doorway. It is teeny. It is teeny tiny. If you want to feel accomplished, I read this book in like 3 hours. And it's an adult fantasy, but it feels like it's not, and then adult things happen. It's in a fantasy world, but it's essentially about people who come, like children who come back from fantasy worlds and like how they deal with reality again. Like after Alice comes back from the Wonderland or whatever, how she reacts. That's a bad example because isn't she like dreaming or something? And it's very like cozy, like school, like children, but it's very weird. And then there's like a murder. Then I have two from Jessie Q. Sutanto. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers and Dial A for Aunties. I just haven't read them yet and I don't know why. Funny, kind of fun. This one is somebody ending up accidentally killing their blind date and then the aunties come in. I read Dating Dr. Dill, which also had an element of like the aunties coming in, and it's just like a hoot and a half. And then Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers is very much in the veins of an elderly woman who, like, there's a murder in her tea shop that she owns and she thinks she will do a better job than the police at solving the crime, so she like solves the crime in a funny way. And I love that the protagonist is not your typical protagonist age. Let's stay in the rom-com vein, shall we? I got The Bride Test. It's me, I'm back, my camera died. Shocking. Are we shocked? No. I was talking about the kiss quote. No, I wasn't. I was talking about The Bride Test. See, the thing about rom-coms and me is that I need there to be something hooky about it to like it. And I know that that's superficial, but that's where I'm at emotionally. It can't just be, oh my gosh, like, we like each other and we're gonna get together and we're kind of quirky. Like, I just can't do those ones. It just like doesn't do it for me. So this one had a kind of an interesting premise of there is someone who doesn't have any feelings and then like he is autistic, so he has trouble processing emotions, right? Oh, it's arranged marriage. I didn't even know that. So I just like liked that there was something about it that was kind of hooky. So When I tell you I went to the bookstore after like a really, really, really long week and I had cash with me, it's a bad recipe for a lot of spending on books, but I haven't bought books, well, in like 1 month, but I've been reading a lot, so anyway, speaking of hooky rom-coms, I have The Bodyguard, which I actually already read. And this is what I mean by a hook, is that it's this famous celebrity dude and he needs a bodyguard because he has a stalker, and so this like short little ninja woman becomes his bodyguard, but his mom, like, he doesn't want anybody to know that he needs a bodyguard, so then he like have to pretend to be dating a man, and then you have the little like insert of the drama of maybe the stalker is gonna come into play, maybe there's gonna be drama. So if you want to hear my full thoughts on this, check out my reading wrap up, which is probably not even out yet. Is it March? Yes. No, it's April. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. It's the end of April. Okay. Next up, let's go into my YA fantasies. Last book haul, I got the 6 books of the Mortal Instruments in the Cassandra Clare world. So the next ones, I believe, are the Infernal Devices. And I've heard that people really like these 3. So it's the Clockwork ones, the Clockwork Angel, the Clockwork Prince, the Clockwork Princess. So yes, I have a couple. I have one left, that ginormous 800-page book of the Mortal Instruments still, but like I've been enjoying it, but it's like kind of ridiculous at the same time, and it's very much written in 2007. And so I'm hoping that as we get to the more recent releases, it'll have more of the elements that I like, but I have been enjoying it. It just seems like a little much sometimes. Okay, what I really need to be done with is all of the people kissing their siblings. So if that's gonna keep happening, maybe just let me know. Just let me know. I know they're not, but like the thing is that they thought they were siblings. I don't want to talk about it. Next up is my book of the month for the month, which is Adelaide, which is very depressing. Definitely all the content warnings for this one. It starts off, a woman has checked herself into a suicide hospital. So if that gives you any indication of kind of the theme going into this, and then it like turns back time to the beginning of like a relationship that she had, and kind of walks through her life and how depressing it is. It's fiction. It's interesting because there's no dialogue tags. Next up, what do we got? Oh, I got what's this series called? Is there a name? And it's like Ember in the Ashes. Which I've been meaning to read for a long time, actually. I just have never bitten the bullet and gotten all of them. And I literally have no idea. I literally have no idea what they're about. Why do I keep doing this? Do I smell an enemies to lovers ancient Rome moment? Absolutely I do, and I could not be more excited, frankly. I've heard really great things about this author's writing. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at how how spaced out. Oh, I just love white spacing so much. This is why I just like love reading the Shadowhunters, because the spacing is so big and it's just easy on my little eyes. Shockingly, I spend a lot of time on a screen. Like, who doesn't? Like, when people say that, my thought is, yes, and don't we all? And so to also add little teeny itty bitty font with no spacing in between, I'm like, give me a break. Thank you and good night. And the font means a lot to me, and I can't explain it. Anyway, should we talk about it? Oh my gosh. Okay, so story time. I hate that I just said that. I went to a garage sale hosted by my church today, and they had this 20-book completed series of like Christian inspirational suspense thrillers in large print for grandmas. And you know what I said? First I said, how much? And they said $10 for this entire collection. And I said, listen, am I really interested in reading these? No. But I do love a collection. And so they're all, it's called the Love Inspired series. It's categorized under inspirational romance, little mini suspense romances. And they're all different. So this one is the Texas Twin Abduction in the larger print. Oh, we love to see it. And it says, this twin's past is a blank, and she might not have a future. This is gonna be so bad, and I love it. Waking up in a bullet train car with a bag full of cash and a deputy insisting, what? Oh my gosh, okay, I'm actually interested. And a deputy insisting she's his ex-fiance. Ashley has no memory of what happened, or of Lawson Avery. But with her twin missing and someone hunting her down, she must trust him with her life. Can Lawson save her and her sister, even as Ashley's forgotten secrets become an inescapable trap? Like, put me in. Are these all written by the same person? No, wait, what? Okay, they're all written by different people. This is so fun. Okay, this one is Forgotten Secrets. One woman abducted, another targeted, but he can't remember why. Why is this sounding familiar? Why is there amnesia and kidnapping in all of these books? Oh my gosh, every time I see a cover like this, I'm like, who were the actors who had to stand in that forest or in front of that green screen? Like, was that just a day where they just did all of these covers? This is my personal favorite. Hunted by the Mob. She said graphic design. If I just need a palette cleanser, frankly. Or I'll give them to my grandma. She would like them. Grandma, would you want some? Comment down below. So next, the writing is on the wall, and I'm sorry about this one. Okay, actually, I'm not even going to apologize because I unironically have read pretty much all of Colleen Hoover's discography. And I know the discography is for musicians, but I like to use it. I've read pretty much all of Colleen Hoover except for the Slammed series, Never Never, and also I haven't read Hopeless. And there's a bunch of little novellas I haven't read, but I'm working on a video kind of dissecting the writing and the structure and like what works about Colleen Hoover. So I decided I should probably read the ones that I haven't read. So I have Never Never, which actually seems really interesting, where they have like, this couple has lost their memory and then they have to work, they have to like figure out, they have to like remember, which I will admit I'm excited for, so sue me. And then I have the Heartless series. Heartless? Sorry, I just read that yesterday and I am heartless. We have Slammed, we have Point of Retreat, and This Girl, which I believe it's like high school romance, which is just not, I just don't love high school romances, but we're gonna see. Do you guys wanna be in my Be Real? The thing is that I'll be talking about more in this Colleen Hoover video that I'm really teasing a lot, so like and subscribe to learn more. She sells for a reason, and I like, again, it's not the pinnacle of literature, but they get me every time. They suck me in, they bring me to the end, sometimes as a hostage situation. So personally, Ugly Love was a hostage situation where I was the hostage of the book. It was horrible every second, but I just could not stop reading it. We'll get into that in a later video, but yes, so 4 of them are Colleen Hoover. The amount of money this woman has personally taken from my bank account. Okay, next up we have a TJR. Do people call her that? Taylor Jenkins Reid. She gets married in a whirlwind romance where they travel as travel bloggers around the world, and then the husband dies in a helicopter accident, and she like finds a new love 5 years later, and they're like, she finally found love again and she's built this new life, and then the husband comes back from the dead and you're just in stress for 150 pages. Next up I have Local Woman Missing, also with the sticker. Literally have not read the synopsis of this. Oh my gosh. Well, I've heard good things about this. Some people are going missing, a little girl goes missing, and then she returns 11 years later, and everyone is like, bestie, what happened? I've heard really good things about Mary Kupika. I also just really like to say her name, probably incorrectly. And then my last one here is The Memory Police, which I've heard like various people talk about. And essentially it's like, in this dystopian society and things like will disappear, like ideas. The idea of hats. One day you wake up, nobody remembers what a hat is, all the hats are gone. Like what? But you don't even know. You don't even say what because you don't even know. It was gone. The next day it's like birds. Birds aren't real? That's a different story.
From 1959 through 2001, the government mercilessly genocided over 12 billion birds and simultaneously replaced them with surveillance drones in disguise.
This is a satirical campaign to make the point that what? You're looking at me like, no, it's not satire. I really do believe this.
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
And then the memory police come and probably take, it's giving 1984. It's giving Brave New World. Yes, also the cover is absolutely stunning. Okay, the last book I have is Dr. Rick Will See You Now, which is the guy from the Progressive commercials who's like, don't be, young homeowners are worried about becoming their parents. And when I tell you, I thought this book was a business book. Also, I got this I was at an insurance company and they just had stacks of these things and they were like, take them. And I was like, okay. It's like a guide of how not to become your parents. Like there's this whole guide to shoes in it. Thanks for feeding my addiction, everybody. In all seriousness though, please go to a library. But also make sure that you're reading the books that you get and that you are reading because you love it, not because you love the idea of books, right? I mean, if you have the disposable income and you want to support the economy, go for it. But if you're looking to hear more about those, if you're a writer, if you're a reader, if you like to pretend that you're either of those things, if you like words generally, people saying them, people reading them on the page, them coming out of your body, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what other books you all have been reading. Tell me if you've read any of these. Give me all the red flags. Yes, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it now. Okay, thanks.